Greetings from the Central Administrative Services, Tobago, and happy World Meteorological Day. We are thrilled to join the rest of the world once again in celebrating 72 years since the coming into force of the convention establishing the World Meteorological Organization in 1950. Much has changed in that time. Our technology and equipment have advanced by leaps and bounds, but so too have our threats. We know that small island states like ours are incredibly vulnerable to the effects of climate change and natural disasters. So for us, investments in disaster risk reduction and early warning systems are critical to the safety and well-being of our people. The theme for this year's World Meteorological Day, Early Warning and Early Action, Hydrometeorological and Climate Information Disaster Risk Reduction, is especially pertinent for us because it highlights the World Meteorological Organization's focus on early action and taking steps to protect communities before a disaster strikes, based on an early warning or forecast. The government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago is committed to taking early action to protect our citizens before a disaster strikes. As such, we have made several investments to upgrade the services provided by the Meteorological Services Division here in Tobago. Some of the projects already completed include the development of the TT Met Office mobile app, which has significantly enhanced our early warning capabilities by making adverse weather alerts and other updates more accessible to the public on the go. A daily forecast is also produced specifically for Tobago and is available on the TT Met Office mobile app. We have also installed a geostationary operational environmental satellite, also known as the GOES satellite. This was installed at the Met Station at Crown Point. This satellite provides the continuous monitoring necessary for the intensive data analysis that makes early warning and early action possible. The GOES satellite provides constant monitoring of the atmospheric triggers for severe weather conditions such as flash floods, storms, and hurricanes. Hence, you can see its importance for mitigating any natural disaster here on the island. In addition to our completed projects, the projects we have carded for completion this year include the installation of the Ranger X5 radar system. This radar can produce ultra-high resolution data for short and medium-range weather detection. Its installation at the Crown Point Meteorological Station allows for improvements in locating and predicting the path and intensity of precipitation. In the hands of the capable staff at the Meteorological Service, this technology will improve our meteorologists' ability to issue early warnings in the case of adverse weather. We also plan to install more automated weather stations across the island over the course of this year. We have already successfully installed an automated weather observing system, also known as an AWOS, at the airport. This system provides measurement of all parameters which may be needed for safe operations at the airport, including but not limited to approach, landing, and takeoff. The AWOS also provides automatic runway visual range information to aircrafts. The installation of the automated weather stations at the Dwight York Stadium in Bacolet is expected to be completed by April of this year, with stations at Goodwood and the Main Ridge to follow. We intend to continue installing automated weather stations across the island until we can accurately monitor all weather-related parameters across the island. I am quite proud of the projects our Meteorological Services Division have executed here in Tobago, and I'm excited by their future plans. I applaud their continued efforts to build our capacity to respond quickly and proactively in the event of a natural disaster, and I know we are in their safe hands. Today, I invite you to take a look at some of the equipment we use to support our early warning systems and the people who work behind the scenes to keep us safe. Enjoy and have a happy World Meteorological Day.
This year's theme for World Met Day focuses on early warning and early action for disaster risk reduction. This is very important to me as a meteorologist because I often have to think about issuing early warnings to the public with the aim of reducing their risk from natural disasters. Thankfully, we here at the Trinidad and Tobago Meteorological Service has an early warning system that the public is quite familiar with, and it is also easily accessible. The majority of all warnings are issued during the rainy season. This time also coincides with the hurricane season. Therefore, we have a lot of activity during that time of the year: hurricanes, storms, tropical waves, etc. Our warnings range from adverse weather alerts, hazardous seas alerts, riverine flooding alerts, and earlier this year we even issued a warning for high wind speeds. The public is most familiar with the yellow level alert. However, we also have an orange level alert, which is for high risk, and a red level alert, which is for extremely high risk. During my time at the Met Service, I have seen one red level alert, which was for a tropical storm a few years ago. As stated before, the majority of all alerts are issued during the rainy season. During that time of the year, we usually have a daily brief between the forecaster at PRCO and the forecaster here in Crown Point, along with our supervisors, where we will discuss the meteorological parameters and we will make a decision based on the conditions in the coming days if an alert is needed. If an alert is needed, as we are expecting impactful weather, then we would give the start and end time for the alert, so the public will know when to expect the adverse weather conditions and when it should be subsiding. We like to give the public as much information as possible, so we would also include the type of hazards that are expected, whether it's gusty winds, thunderstorms, prolonged rainfall, etc. The area that is expected to be under adverse weather conditions is also highlighted. You will usually see a yellow bubble across Trinidad and Tobago if the entire nation is under alert. If Tobago is under alert, you would see Tobago in the yellow bubble, and if South Trinidad is under alert, you will see South Trinidad in the yellow bubble. When the conditions have subsided and we are now under low risk, we will issue a discontinuation and the country will go back to green level. We usually give a disclaimer that, a few lingering showers and isolated thunderstorm may occur, so the public could still remain mindful. That's typically how our early warning system is issued. As mentioned before, although the majority of all alerts are issued during the rainy season, we also have alerts during the dry season. In fact, for this year, we have already issued 3 alerts. And, with the world changing, we have climate change, urbanization. You can get alerts at any time of the year. So the public need to remain mindful and stay close to or download our mobile app. You can get a notification while we have an alert via the mobile app, or pay attention to our social media platforms for updates.
Meteorological observers work around the clock 24/7, measuring and recording meteorological data, focusing on the daily weather patterns including the temperature, rainfall, atmospheric pressure, along with wind speeds and direction. This information is essential for the functioning of any airport environment, as pilots often require information from the data collected by the meteorological observers to assist them with approach, landing, and takeoff. The many hours worked by the meteorological observers to record synoptic data is very important, as the data is used to predict weather phenomena such as thunderstorms, as well as for the analysis of climatic data, which in turn will largely be used for climatic change and global warming databases. As such, what we do here as meteorological observers plays a major role in keeping the people of Tobago safe.
I feel proud to say that our staff have been fully trained and are now able to expertly manage the use of this equipment that the government has provided for us, which is to the benefit of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Further training is carried for staff this year on the Ranger X5 radar system, which we have already received. Installation was delayed due to COVID protocols, but this will take place soon. The combined utilization of all these equipment will help in making more accurate short-term forecasts and improve our products to the aeronautical community. I would like to recognize pioneers of meteorology in Tobago, from when it was established in 1967, when the first weather radar in Trinidad and Tobago was installed at Crown Point. At that time, it was an RC-32B Mitsubishi radar, which later proved to be the longest serving radar in the Caribbean of its type. I would like to acknowledge Mr. Edward Peter Jones, the first officer in charge of Tobago Met Services at that time, who became the first meteorological supervisor and who was also a radar observer, along with Mr. Hollis Bailey, Mr. Theophilus Jackson, and Mr. Aldrich Cummins. They had at that time as their technician to keep the equipment running, Mr. Michael Genty. These men led the way forward to what is now our present-day modernized meteorological service.